inaugural Conference League and say that, we're a club of firsts. So we could say that, we're the first club to win that. And that really should be a target, because I think that
that's what you said. That's what you said you'd like to happen. I mean, we'd all like lots of things. What do you think is actually achievable?
I think that is achievable. I think that's what I would like. I think that's achievable. I think that's not being unrealistic to say that's achievable. Yeah. What I would like is for us to finish in the top 4 and win the Conference League or whatever. I don't think that's achievable, but that's what I would like. And I think that, so I think finishing top 5 and aiming to win the Conference League, I think that's definitely achievable. And that's something that we should be looking to do. We should look to utilise our squad a lot more and try and win one of the domestic cups by utilising our squad. And if that's the League Cup, because the League Cup is the earliest one to kind of focus on, then focus on the League Cup. Do the League Cup, utilise the squad to help us to get through that, and aim for the top 5 and the Conference League. I think that is achievable. I think we need to set ourselves.
But if you look this time last season, we had all the hype that Gareth Bale was coming.
Yeah,
we were being proclaimed that we had the best front 3 to 4 players in the league. We were professing that we had the greatest goalkeeper in our goal. We were professing that we had the greatest back 4 in the Premier League. And everybody was like, we're going to win the Premier League. We're going to do this, that, and other.
And we had
Jose there. Now, in theory, you could say that what's happened this season is we've taken a step down from that. If you put whatever group you put Jose in, for example, I don't know, say he's in Group A. Is Nuno in Group A or is Nuno in Group B?
But that all comes back to...
We've lost our key defenders.
That comes back to...
Because of time.
That comes back to you saying about, about having the players for the team and for the system, that we've probably now got a manager who's better able to utilise the resources that we have. That wasn't Jose. Jose wasn't able to utilise the resources that we had. Jose, and this is something that Andy advocated a lot last year, was that, you need to give Jose the players that he wants. If you want success from someone like Jose, you buy. He's like Pep Guardiola, really. Pep expects certain players. You buy the players that he wants. You buy the players that Jose wants. You get the success that he'll bring you. If you want success, buy the players that he wants. If you don't do that, if you just say to him, well, these are the players I'm going to buy you. I know you want player A, but I'm going to give you player.
Isn't that what happened though? Isn't that what's happened over the years now? And when you look at this season coming, when we're in very strong potential of losing 2 of our main skilled people up front, if Gareth goes back to Real Madrid, possibly,
he is.
He's gone.
He's gone.
If
Kane goes over to Man City or somewhere else, that's gone. So you've got 2 major playmakers that have disappeared. And with Kane playing more towards the end of the season, and especially in the Euros, I thought he was playing better as a forward midfield player rather than being a classic centre forward, because he just wasn't getting fed.
He gets isolated, yeah.
Yeah, he just wasn't getting fed as you would feed a classic number 9. Yeah. He's got the size for it, and he's got the right skills, but we hadn't got the team infrastructure around him to be able to feed it where it was needed to go. Yeah. So we've got a couple of seriously big holes in the squad. And there's some people you can say, they would help fill some of the gaps and things like that. But it's going to have to take a hell of a lot of work by Nuno to get somewhere and get these players into a team that is capable of beating the likes of, unfortunately, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, who are now big threat sides again.
But I would say that Nuno is probably, a coach that is more adaptable than Jose. in that respect. Pochettino, when Pochettino came in, he had a group of players to work with. He built a unit of players, a core of players, and worked with those players and built a system around the players that he had and got the best out of those players. I feel that Nuno probably is going to be someone who's similar. He wants to play a high tempo game and exploit the strengths of the players we've got, right? And tactically we'll work that out rather than, and if you listen to some of the feedback from, some of the players, Jose is good as a man motivator for the players that he's interested in. And he can, I've listened to him talking tactics, but it doesn't seem to translate and the players didn't seem to buy into it. So, I still think that Nuno's got half a chance of achieving that. Andy, you were going to say something?
Yeah. So I think one of the key points here is if Kane goes, we obviously lose 20 to 30 goals a season in the league. We lose 15 assists. So that has to be, filled. But you also have to look at the other side of it, where last season we missed out on top four by just a few points. So I still think, I still agree with Steve that we've got a very good chance of getting top five, top four.
Oh, come on.
Because
I'm definitely going to go and find me a banana now.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I just think we've got the potential for a really enjoyable season ahead of us. It's whether we keep Kane or not. And of course, the longer this goes on, it's going to be harder to get rid of Kane because we won't be able to replace him. And it's not going to be good PR to get rid of him at the end of the transfer window.
But you've also got the thing, like you were saying, Steve, about he's got to build the team and that sort of thing. Pochettino took 2 years to do that.
He did.
Yeah.
And are the club and the supporters going to give him 2 years to do that? If we end up, I don't know, say 15th place next season, and the answer is simply he's been building the squad up, people will be getting out there surely saying he should be booted out.
I think it depends.
The next year.
I think it depends really how how he sells that, or how he sells that to the fans and how he puts that across to the fans, because Poch was similar. He didn't come in and say, right, well, I'm going to get you top four straight away or whatever. He said that this is I've got a project, I've got a plan. This is it, and we're building towards that. And I think Andy said, he's looking forward to an enjoyable season. And I think if we can show progress in terms of how we play, interestingly, and we haven't I can't believe we still haven't actually spoke about this in any detail, but interestingly, if we do sell Kane, that probably would help buy Nuno some time, because the expectation from fans in that respect would be a lot less. We've lost our talisman. We've lost the player that we know is going to give us 20 plus goals potentially a season, 15 or whatever assists it is per season. The person that you build a team around, and therefore there's a natural rebuild that comes in at the same time as the new manager comes in, and he can build out a project, and people will go, right, okay, well, let's see. They'll have to say, well, let's see what he can do. So, but if Kane stays, then the expectation on Nuno to deliver and to achieve something will be instantly higher. So it'd be interestingly, I don't want him to go, but interestingly, it'd probably help Nuno in terms of giving him more time to kind of settle in and establish himself with that club and with the players. If we didn't actually have Kane and he could embed his own sort of philosophy.
If Kane goes, then it gives more control of the dressing room back to the manager. Because Kane has had a huge influence over the end of Pochettino's time and Mourinho's time in so many ways.
Yeah, he has.
in being able to play when he wants to play and all that sort of thing. And I'm fairly sure he also helps to dictate what some of the tactics are. And that must be so difficult if you're a manager, not being able to control completely 100% the dressing room that you've got.
Yeah, go on, Sarah.
That awkward rush to get off mute. I think if we, sorry, lost my train of thought now. I don't think Harry controls the dressing room in any way other than the fact that, you know, he's probably keen to know what the tactics are and how you're going to win. I don't think it's a disruptive influence. I just don't think that's his style. And I think if he had his choice, Mourinho probably would have stayed. And I also probably think he wouldn't have wanted Mauricio Pochettino to go either. So I don't think he really has that destructive negative influence, which I sort of felt you were hitting at, Peter. Apologies if I'm wrong. And also I just sort of think next season, like if we
is this going to break into? Sorry, Sarah, before you carry on,
no.
Is this going to break into a Suffolk-Norfolk war? Just want to know.
Maybe.
I'm confident.
What's going on
I'm
here?
confident. We've got, if you want to go to the Norfolk Suffolk war, we've got Norwich City, and you've got Ipswich Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
really
but you're not.
I mean,
you're not a Norwich
around
fan.
The corner from Spurs, so I really don't give a crap about Ipswich Town.
Sarah, carry on. Sorry, carry on. About you were saying about Harry and stuff.
And I think if we lose Harry, we do lose an awful lot. But I think what we lose in Harry, we possibly gain. And I'm not saying I want to lose him by any means. Obviously, I want to keep him, but we probably then gain a bit more flexibility in terms of the system we can play, because we have got decent forward players. Yes, none of them will be Harry. None of them will score his goals. None of them will create the way he creates in terms of what he does. I think it's quite unique. But, you know, Dele Alli trying to fit into that system we were playing last year, and half the reason that he couldn't fit into that system is because there's just no real place for him. And I think what we've seen in pre-season is a Dele Alli that's been told, get your foot on the ball and play forward. Well, that he certainly wasn't told that last season. And that's why, yes, against very poor opposition, and he's got to translate that into Premier League form. But that's why we're seeing a different Dele Alli in pre-season, because he's being allowed to turn, he's being allowed to play on the front foot, and he's being allowed to take risks. And I think, you know, I tried to write down a team for last Monday's pod, which I forgot I was at a wedding for. And I just couldn't put all the players in that I wanted to put in. And I think that is fundamentally a big problem. And I do think it takes a bit of pressure off of Nuno in the sense of we'll be a bit more forgiving as fans, I think. But also, hang on. No! She's digging my garden.
Excuse me, I'm just going to go change my trousers.
And
Sarah's got Tourette's.
Well, you said this was a friendly chat.
and whatever else, but I just think we've all. I certainly have been resigned for Harry for going a long time, because I'm a Spurs fan. I'm immensely unhappy, and if I could transfer the way I feel about this football club to a club that was winning trophies, I'd do it at the drop of a hat. But we, as fans, we can't do that. So I don't like how he's gone about it, seemingly today. But in general, I can't blame him.
But we don't know any details though about today. All we
That's
have
what
is,
I just said. Seemingly.
This is part of the problem. You know, we have no detail, but what we have is the media building up a speculation. And
this is it. On one side, you've got Norman Giller saying he's having COVID tests, everything's fine, and on the other side, you've got Dan Kilpatrick saying that he's going to be getting a hefty fine from the club. Dan Kilpatrick in one sentence said the club consider it an internal matter and won't be making a statement, and then immediately afterwards saying that they're deeply unhappy and that they're going to fine him. So how do you know that we're unhappy if we've already said that we're not going to make a statement? We said we're not making a statement. That's nonsense.
But we apparently he has the knowledge we're unhappy. It doesn't make any sense. You know
we're 2 weeks off the start of the season against one of the toughest teams in the season, and everything's going on about Harry Kane. And I just wonder whether it's. I know they're pretty protected in the training thing, but I don't know how that's distracting, and the fact that Harry doesn't turn up to training and things like that. it's bound to
Well,
be
I think the biggest
I think they just
issue.
need to make the decision.
Yeah.
Should I stay or should I go now?
Well, exactly. I mean, if he doesn't